Hey y'all, so welcome back to my channel. I just want to jump right in and just tell you guys everything because I don't want this video to be super duper long. First I want to apologize so much for me being MIA on this series. For all of you guys who subscribe to my channel because of this series, I've just been going through a lot as far as my point of view. As far as with everything, I had to just really just sit down and just think of everything that I was going through that was causing me to feel like I was in a bad place, as far as like feeling depressed or anything like that. So I wanted to just really take some time and just to see why I was feeling like that. And then also I was really just feeling like I kept coming on here being discouraged, and I didn't want to like discourage anybody or make anybody feel bad or anything like that, or make anybody feel sorry for me. I was going through a lot of self-pity, a lot of beating myself up, a lot of negativity towards myself, and which I shouldn't have done. And so that's why I've been so far missing in action. So the next thing I want to go over is just to kind of update you guys from my last video, because that video has probably been a month now, and I just want to update you guys on what I've update you from that video and then what I'm doing now. So since the last video, I told you guys the main thing about that video was I was in the process of trying to find answers to my health. So I showed you guys the heart monitor. I showed y'all just kind of a vulnerable side of me that I was feeling. I was feeling down, beating myself up again, like I said, a lot of self-pity. Something I didn't tell you guys is that I was feeling really depressed at that time. I've actually been avoiding depressive thoughts and depressive feelings for a very long time actually, but I'm gonna get more into that in this video. I'm trying to make this video less than 15 to 20 minutes, so I took some notes so I don't go off track. So the heart monitor, once I turned that into my doctor, they saw that each time I pressed the button from having the chest pains or the panic attacks, that they couldn't find anything abnormal with my heart rhythm, anything abnormal as far as like with feeling the palpitations or anything like that. So that was a good thing. It was also a bad thing because it just further made me feel like I still don't have answers, which made me beat myself up even more about. I still have a lot of the swelling in my legs that I don't know why. A lot of you women out there might know the swelling I'm talking about. It's the kind of swelling when you're at the end of your pregnancy and your feet and your legs just swell up. Like even if you're on your feet for 5 minutes, that's what I suffer with, and we still don't know why. I wish we can find out why, because it's affecting my weight. It's also affecting me feeling fatigue all the time. Fatigue meaning I'm always tired and feeling heavy. I still take my medications to help me get rid of a lot of the excess fluid, but sometimes it even feels like the medication's not doing enough. So anyway, I'm going to continue to update you guys though throughout my process with that. So I'm supposed to be going back to my doctor, who so far now, because since me and my husband moved all the way out here with my parents, my doctor and everything is so far, it's actually close to my job, which is far. So I try to limit my time being on the road because I hate driving. I hate especially having to drive long distance on the highway. So that's why I've been postponing a lot and just, you know, finding excuses not to go to follow up. And then also another thing that really affects me is I don't want to go have these tests done again and then I'm still not knowing what's going on. So I know I need to go do it. I need to seriously go do it, but I need help as far as working myself up to going to make time to go do that. So what I'm doing now, y'all, I'm doing keto now, and I tried keto before in the past. I went into it blindsided. I went into it with little to no information, not really understanding the work that goes into it, not really understanding the science behind it, not really understanding just the steps to take to help you get into ketosis so that your body can finally break down fat as fuel versus using carbs for fuel. So keto, for those of you guys don't know, is a diet that, and it's also a diet, but it's also a lifestyle change. It's making sure that your body consumes more fats and proteins versus carbs. Usually the regular diet, the regular food intake that they want you to have is carbs is high, protein is high, and fat is really low. This is kind of reversing that. It's having fats be your highest macro, protein being your third highest, and then carbs being the very, very, very low. Protein, give or take, some people say it's okay to consume a certain amounts that your body requires, and sometimes they say you need to consume less, because sometimes protein can get broken down into sugar, which defeats the purpose of you doing keto, because keto, you don't want to have any high amounts of sugar, as far as like that turns into glucose in the body, that makes your body constantly spike insulin to try to bring those sugar levels down. So it's your body burning fat as fuel, because if you guys know, whenever you're working out, your body relies on carbs. Whenever you're up moving around, whenever your brain is trying to function when you're in school or if you're studying, your body is using glucose, which is carbs first, to use that to be able to function. So keto is completely depleting your body of carbs, so that your body switches over and says, okay, hey, I need fuel to concentrate, I need fuel to give her energy, I need fuel to help her sleep, whatever. Your body is using the fat instead. So that's just like a basic definition on what keto is. So it's a whole lot more that goes into it besides just that. Like, I find myself spending time in the kitchen more. I find myself really researching different foods, vegetables and fruits that I'm using in my diet to cook with. So it takes a lot to do, but I was always encouraged and inspired by knowing that the more work you put into making your life better, the more of a reward it is at the end when you reach your goals. So I know all of this stuff is helping me with that, so I'm excited about that. So excited to try it a second time around. I did it before, and like I said, I went into it completely blindsided and not knowing, and I didn't really spend the time, to really understand it the way that I should have, that I'm doing now. And before I started it this time, I really went in and did research over the last few months before I started, to really better understand keto. I have a heart monitor that I also didn't have before when I first started keto, that has been helping me to track, to see when I'm in ketosis. I finally got the concept down on, like, if for some reason I have a bad day and I didn't prep or anything and I fall out of ketosis, which happened my first 2 to 3 weeks, I would say two to 3 weeks when I first started. It was so hard to get back into ketosis, so I bought a monitor my second week. Actually, I had my monitor my first week because I wanted to see what my keto levels were before I actually got into ketosis, and I wanted to make sure I know what they were whenever I got into ketosis. So I got that heart monitor the first week. The second to third week, when I would see that I was in ketosis, it would be the one meal that probably had a bunch of hidden carbs in it that I didn't know, and I would check my blood levels, and I would see that I actually fell out of it. So the monitor has helped me so much with that. I finally got the concept down as far as, like, whenever you fall out of ketosis, which I'll share with you guys in another video, and telling you how to get back into ketosis really quickly. So that has been helping me to stay on track. Like I said, I do a lot of research, so I'm doing a lot of research with working out to see how that impacts weight loss with ketosis. So the more and more I continue to get information about that, I'll come on here and let you guys know. Whenever I did ketosis before, I stopped it because, one, I didn't really understand it and I was gaining weight, and then two, I had this really bad breakout on my face. If you guys remember, probably not, a year ago whenever I did it, I had this really bad breakout on my face, and you can see it really good on camera when I was doing my makeup. And so I would really try to wear makeup a lot around that time, because I completely, like, broke out around here. I broke out around my eyes. I noticed now that I'm doing ketosis that I'm also breaking out. So whenever I did it before, I thought it was because of this supplement drink that puts you into ketosis really quick. So I thought it was maybe because that supplement was expired the first time I did ketosis, because I ordered it off of Amazon. So that's why I thought, you know, that breakout was because of that. But really I understand now, when I'm in ketosis, my body is burning all of this fat. And I found out that whenever your body burns a lot of the stored fat, there's a lot of toxins in fat. So whenever your body excretes fat through your pores, the toxins that are in it can irritate your skin. So I don't have the rash that most people have over their body when that happens, because my skin all over my body is really, really strong. It's just my face gets sensitive every once in a while. So I know that's why my face is breaking out and not my body. So, and not everybody experiences, it's just some people, just because. I don't know if there's really a cause because of why this happened to some people, and some people it doesn't, but I really am on the hunt to find out why. Another thing is being in ketosis gives me so much clearer mind. I have all this energy without, like, even the days when I don't even have like the coffee or the or have the days when before I restarted up my Teami detox, I noticed I had a lot of this energy. And now that I'm doing my detox again with the Teami, I noticed that I'm just having that extra amount of energy. I'm having less chest pains. My swelling is not as bad as it was. And I am really starting to understand why a lot of people make this a lifestyle change. Just because of all of the positive stuff I had within this first month of me doing it, I really want to push myself even further this next month, and really see how far I can go into this and how much it's helping me to get to where I need to be. My weight is not moving as fast as I thought it would, and I'm fine with that, because I need to understand that keto is actually helping me health-wise. That's why I continue, even though I've been having the breakouts. I've been continuing to push forward. I've been continuing to read different material as far as like and information as far as like how to fix those issues while you're on it. So I'm gonna have a video dedicated completely to that. I just don't want to make this video a lot of breaking down everything that I'm doing, because I wanted this video to just kind of be a update, and then just to bring you guys in on what I'm doing. So I wanted to just talk about that. Another thing I want to talk about is whenever you're doing something and you're really putting your all into it, and things don't go the way that you think it should, or if you've made mistakes in the past, or if things have happened to you as far as with your health, don't let that stuff discourage you. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't allow yourself to get so deep into self-pity like I did, because it can lead you down this dark path of depression. And after everything I've been through over the last 2 years, 2.5, almost 3 years actually, since I had my son, I really beat myself up about my issues that I had with preeclampsia, and with him being in the NICU, and just kind of seeing him like suffer through a lot, and then, you know, just kind of like blaming myself a lot. I try to continue to push that behind me in the back of my mind, and not really think about it. But I see now that a lot of what I'm going through now is a lot of the reasons why I push myself into this dark emotional space back whenever I had my son and I was constantly in the NICU going to see him. It just further pushes me to think negative about myself, not think, you know, that I can never do anything right, or in my past, not being able to lose weight. I don't want anybody to think like, you know, she's always on here like talking about her weight. It's so much more worse things going on in the world. A lot of people are dealing with a whole lot worse things. I realize that, I know that, but I'm just speaking for myself. I can't speak for everything else that's going on in the world. Everybody else that has things in their life that's going worse than mine, because I didn't experience what they experienced. All I know is what I experienced. And I also want to say that if you're ever one of those people that think that way, like thinking like it's a lot worse things going on, be mindful that even though you're not going through things, you have your own issues that you're dealing with. So even though some people are dealt different cards in life, how you deal with those cards that you've been dealt is yours, and it's your story, and it's how you deal with it, and it's how you come out of it. And you never know how many people go through little, big, medium things that that's their story and that's their testimony, and maybe they're the ones that's supposed to help and encourage other people that's going through specifically what they're going through. You know what I mean? So I wanted to just say that because I see a lot of that stuff, not on my channel, but I see a lot of that stuff like in certain comments of different people whenever somebody's going through something. So I just wanted to say that, and I also don't want anybody to feel sorry for me or feel like I'm always negative about this weight loss thing. It is a struggle. It is hard. Some people just choose to talk about it. Some people don't. A lot of my struggle comes from what I've dealt with in the past, what I've dealt with, and what I'm dealing with now, and how feeling like you're doing everything right but nothing's happening. That's where a lot of my negative thoughts and self-pity and just like feeling depressed and not wanting to like go on, just allowing all of that stuff to just beat me up and get to me mentally. It's important to find resources. It's important to find different things that can help you stay strong and get through that. So one thing that I've been using, I want to mention this before I end this video. One thing I've been using is this book right here. I've been using that book, and I found that book by mistake just walking past my parents' bookshelf here, and I was actually going through a lot mentally at that time, and it was in the midst of that time whenever I had that big absence here on my channel. And so I started reading that book. I finished it in like 2 weeks. That book has helped me so much, like so much. What I really love about that book is that she talks a lot about how I feel and why I feel certain ways that I feel, with feeling sorry for myself, being negative. She really mentions a lot of that, and she says a lot in that book as far as what you've gone through. You don't really know that subconsciously it affects you down the road in the future. And then also she uses a lot of scriptures that kind of help shows like that people went through this before, even back in the day when Jesus was here, and it just really helps me understand that if people have gone through this years and years and many years ago, you're able to fight through it and not think that way and feel that way about yourself. She also mentioned scriptures to encourage you, to show you that God doesn't want you to feel that way. It's the enemy that wants you to feel that way, because he wants you to take your own life. He wants you to not be around to encourage other people, inspire other people. He wants you to just be in this space of just not loving yourself. And to be honest, losing weight and being healthy is not losing weight. It's first you need to get your mental under control. You need to make sure your body is healthy, and then you need to focus on weight loss. If you don't have those other two things when you want to lose weight, it's going to be so hard. It's going to affect you so much mentally, and it just will not go well. And I'm starting to learn that. I've learned that over these last I would say 6 months, that the way that I was thinking about weight loss was completely wrong. And that's why I wanted to start these videos, because I wanted to see myself start the journey. I wanted to see myself go through those struggles that I constantly go through when I try to lose weight, and I wanted to see myself fight through it, so that if I ever deal with this ever again in life, or if there's anybody out there that's dealing also with the same thing, whether it be your health, whether it be relationships, whether it be weight loss, whether it be cancer, anything, I wanted to just start a movement, like for people to really just be open and talk about how you're feeling, because it's so many people out here that wants to end their life. They want to constantly, you know, beat themselves up, self-pity. Like, again, talking about all of this, a lot of those deep dark thoughts come from people not being able to forgive themselves and even forgive others. So that's why I'm glad I started these videos, because I would never had anything to reference back to see where I started from whenever I do finally reach my goals. And I encourage anybody out there that's going through something, don't be afraid. If you feel like it's meant for you to talk about it, because maybe it can help you by talking about it, also with helping other people. So I really want to just say that the next video I'm going to be posting this week is I want to be able to post a video telling you guys all the resources that I use and that I used at the beginning when I started ketosis, because I started ketosis on August 26th. Today that I'm going to be posting this video is October 2nd. So I've been on keto for about over a month. Yeah, it's not all roses and daisies and sunshines and, you know, but I'm going to be letting you guys know a lot of the stuff that I went through, as far as also currently what I'm going through as more videos start posting. As I post more videos, I have so much content in my journal here that I'm going to be recording for you guys. So stay tuned for that. I want to try to start being more consistent with these, because I feel like as I'm going through stuff, I feel like maybe somebody needs to hear it, or maybe I need to hear it later on. So I'm going to start being more consistent with this. This is not me posting videos to point the finger at somebody and say, hey, you get up and you do something. This is mostly too for me, and I just want to be on here. If I can use my channel for something other than just makeup, mukbangs, I want to be on here also inspiring and encouraging people, not just for weight loss, but for everything, like loving yourself, taking care of yourself, loving others, taking care of others. If I can inspire people to do that, I'm going to do that too. So that's really what this series is about here on my channel with the weight loss. Is also about way much more. So if you're someone that really likes that, also want to get some tips and tricks on weight loss, on self-love, on whatever, this is the place to be. So once again, I want to apologize for my absence, and then also I want to encourage you guys to make right choices, love yourself, forgive yourself, so that you can be a resource for other people. So yeah, until next time, I love you guys. Please remember to stay tuned for that video if you want to know more about what I've been using for ketosis. Also, in this video that I'm going to be posting this week is also going to go more in depth on keto. Like I said, this video is already long and I didn't want to put too much into this video. If you follow me on Twitter, if you follow me on Instagram, you already know, like, a lot of the times I'll post videos of what I'm eating or what I'm cooking. So please continue to do that if you want to see what I'm cooking, until I'm able to give me a vlogging setup. I can't really, you know, incorporate trying to film it and put it on YouTube. That's why I use my phone a lot whenever I'm cooking. So make sure you follow me on Snapchat, and then also Instagram is where mostly I post those things. So until next time, I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in my next video this week. Bye.